I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will.
Canelo lands good punches. I think Canelo could hurt Crawford. Crawford's, first time in that division and jumping 2 divisions.
No way against lesser competition. He knocks him the hell out. Canelo doesn't finish these guys, and he doesn't look good beating them. Shout out to the judges. The judges make Canelo look good.
Terence Crawford as one of boxing's greatest finishers and explains why he believes Crawford could overwhelm Canelo Alvarez. Ward notes that when Crawford senses weakness or sees an opponent hurt, he does not let them recover. Instead, he applies relentless pressure with sharp combinations and perfect timing until the job is done. According to Ward, this killer instinct sets Crawford apart from most fighters, making him dangerous at any stage of a bout. For Canelo, facing such a fighter means that one mistake or moment of vulnerability could lead to a decisive and devastating ending.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. Big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
Andre Ward expresses deep respect for both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez as they prepare to face each other. He highlights that the fight is not just another payday, but a battle where both men are putting their legacies at stake. Ward admires the courage it takes for 2 champions who have already accomplished so much to risk it all against one another. He explains that such matchups elevate the sport of boxing by giving fans a true clash of greatness. For Ward, this fight represents the best of boxing, and he genuinely appreciates and admires both fighters' commitment.
Man, what's up, fight fans? It's official. I'm gonna be the 3rd man ringside calling the Canelo Alvarez Terence Crawford fight September 13th at Allegiant Stadium. I'm excited to be a part of this event. I'm excited to be ringside calling this great card and this great matchup. Historic event for many reasons for both fighters. Super middleweight supremacy on the line, legacies on the line, your namesake and reputation is on the line, and I just take my hat off to both of these fighters for putting everything on the line late in their careers the way that they are. This is rare, and it's becoming more and more rare in boxing. Guys don't want this kind of smoke. They really don't want to face another counterpart that can ruin everything that they've built, and it really don't matter how much money's on the table for a lot of guys. They'd rather take a lesser risk for less money than to risk everything like these 2 fighters are doing. So I take my hat off to them. And I also want to give a shout out to Turkey Al-Sheikh for all that he's done to put this fight on, Dana White for all that he's done to put this fight on, and one more person that stays out the way and you don't really hear a lot about, but that has done a lot to make this fight happen as well, and that's my brother Nick Khan. He just gets stuff done, man, and I want to thank him and shout him out as well for getting this done. So I see y'all in Vegas, man. Part of me wants to be home watching this fight in street clothes, but I gotta take the street clothes off. I got work to do. I gotta put that suit on, get ringside with John and Max, and call this fight like I know we can. Huge event, huge implications, historic night, and I'm happy to be a part. I hope to see you in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. If not, man, tune in live on Netflix.
Robot Garcia shared his view on Canelo Alvarez. He emphasized that the Mexican champion has not been at his sharpest in recent outings. Garcia pointed out that Canelo appeared slower in both his hand speed and footwork, which made him look less dangerous compared to his prime years. For a fighter like Terence Crawford, who thrives on exploiting timing and precision, this observation carries significant weight. Garcia believes that these lapses provide Crawford with a real opportunity to step in and impose his style. If Canelo cannot return to his earlier sharpness, then Crawford's speed, angles, and ability to adapt during fights could turn into decisive advantages. Garcia's statement reflects a broader concern among analysts that Canelo may be past his peak, leaving the door open for Crawford to capitalize.
Jumping 2 divisions where he only had 1 fight at 154 and didn't look his best either. So there's a lot of questions, about that, and that's why a lot of people think Canelo is going to knock out Crawford, but I'm probably one of the only ones that I do give Crawford a chance. Yeah. I think Crawford could pull it off. Crawford is very talented. He's very fast. He's very smart in the ring. So I think a perfect fight, Crawford could pull off a decision.
Okay. Okay,
I think he could win a decision. I don't pick him. I wouldn't put my money on him winning because it's a very dangerous, risky fight, especially with Canelo being so strong. But Canelo's last few performances, he's looked slow, flat-footed, looking for one punch at a time. And if that's the Canelo that fights Crawford, Crawford could win a decision. Crawford could outbox him, could outsmart him, could land 3-4 punch combinations and move and win a decision. So do I give Crawford a chance? 100% think Crawford could pull it off. Would I put my money on it? Probably not.
Yeah.
But I do give him a chance.
Yeah, good stuff. Look, Robert, appreciate you taking time to speak to me. I appreciate you letting me in the gym today. Always a pleasure. And hopefully be catching up sometime soon.
Thanks
appreciate
for coming.
it. Thank
you
you.
very
Cheers.
much.
Teddy Atlas, one of boxing's most respected voices, raised concerns about Canelo Alvarez's training approach ahead of the upcoming clash with Terence Crawford. Atlas highlighted that Canelo seems to be overextending himself, pushing beyond what is necessary for an already grueling camp. He argued that including Jaron Ennis, a young and dynamic welterweight, in his training plans may have been excessive. According to Atlas, training smart is just as important as training hard, and Canelo's decision might take more out of him than it gives. Atlas's comments suggest that by trying too hard to sharpen every aspect, Canelo risks draining himself before the actual fight night arrives, leaving him vulnerable against a fighter like Crawford.
Now, so I avoided that. I would bring in specific sparring partners that knew how to be a sparring partner. Yeah, if I wanted some, I went over to him before the day started. Listen, I want you to do this. All right. I'm paying him. I have the right to do that. I want you to move more today. I want you to, I want you to press him a lot. You know what? There was a fight I was getting a guy ready for, and I was worried about the first couple rounds. So I said, when the bell rings, I want you to rush out of the corner and go right after him. And I was, obviously I had my guy ready because we were getting ready for that kind of fight plan, for the possibility that the opponent would come out that way. So I wouldn't look to get a boots Ennis. I mean, nothing wrong with that's what they want. That's fine. And I get it, the style, the size, the length. I understand. It's not a bad pick from that point of view. But for me, again, I never go down that road because I got my guy getting ready for a fight. I don't want to leave it in the gym. I don't want to get into that kind of war in the gym. No, I want to have control of all aspects of what the hell I'm doing in the gym to get ready for one night. So no, I wouldn't do that. I'd get the right sparring partners. If I thought I had a guy, I get guys that my guy could work with, and if he was having an off day, he could kind of, have his way and do what he wanted with the guy. I'd have one of them. I'd probably have 3 guys, sometimes 4, depending where we were at, with the calendar when the fight was coming up.
Expanding on his earlier remarks, Teddy Atlas warned that Canelo's toughest battles might already be happening behind closed doors in the gym. He believes Canelo is engaging in overly intense sparring sessions that look impressive to onlookers but could actually take away from his peak performance in the ring. The idea is that fighters only have so much to give physically and mentally, and if those reserves are depleted before fight night, the results can be damaging. Atlas compared this scenario to leaving your best performance in training instead of saving it for the main event. For Crawford, this situation could become an advantage, as a tired or less explosive Canelo would struggle to deal with his high-paced and precise style once the bell rings.
And a lot has been taken out of you in the gym. You left it in the gym. And we heard that Jaron Boots Ennis was getting the best of Canelo Alvarez in his sparring sessions. That he possibly gave him a black eye. We saw the knot on his head. That was just a week ago. The fight is next week, next Saturday. So 3 weeks out from the fight, and you having this hard sparring sessions with Jaron Boots Ennis, who wants to prove a point. Leave no doubt. Jaron Ennis is going into those sparring sessions not just to be a sparring partner, but to gauge where he stands against a legend and a Hall of Famer and a superstar like Canelo Alvarez, to understand where he can get better and understand that he can actually compete on that level. So make no mistake about it, Jaron Boots Ennis wasn't in there to lay down. Now, he had a job to do. He was there for a specific reason, which is to give Canelo looks that Terence Crawford could possibly give him. But you best believe in those sparring sessions, he gonna give what he have. He gonna test the waters to see where he stands, right? Not just to help Canelo, not just to be a dummy. There's a reason you bring in a high-profile fighter. And so Teddy Atlas believes this is a huge mistake on Canelo Alvarez's part, because now he has possibly left it in the gym, and now he got to go into battle with Terence Crawford. So it's like having two fights in a matter of 3 weeks, and your body's going to show the wear and tear.